まさか一本取られるとはな。さあ、第2ラウンドを始めるとするか。
もう十分休めたでしょ、おじいちゃま。ちゃんと手加減しないとダメでしょ。
手加減などしたら私がいじめられる。
So I really liked this episode quite a bit at beginning after the end. I think this was one of the better episodes of the season, even though there wasn't like a whole lot that happened here. It was really just art getting to the elf city, town, village, kingdom. We'll go with the elf kingdom, the elf country. They get through there by portals, and that way that they limit their accessibility to the world. And they kind of have themselves closed off. I really fancy this episode, though, because I think I love the end where we finally got an answer to all of Art's pains that he's been going through. We kind of found out together that he has inherited something called the Beast Will. And if we remember, right, his grandmama, his baba, Sylvia, which is not Sylvie, but Sylvia, is the one that kind of ingratiated isn't the word, imprinted, on him. Essentially, she kind of imprinted herself on him, which it sounds like she passed on a beast will. Now, of course, we're going to learn more about what that is, but the fact that Virion was very familiar with it, the fact that he decided to take him on as an apprentice, probably even before he realized that, it's probably two peas in a pod kind of thing. He probably has a lot more familiarity with it, a lot of ways to control it, a lot of ways to kind of get it under Art's control, and then it's just going to make a lot more sense. So now he's going to be able to enter an apprenticeship with him, which is only going to make him an even more powerful being than he already is or would have become, which I think is really, really cool. Now, of course, Art's main concern is his family that he left behind, but Virion provided him a solution for that. We don't know quite what that is just yet. But we got left off on what I kind of call a silly cliffhanger. They should have just shown us how he's going to quell his mind or how he'll solve that problem. But you have to assume that they're going to take Art to his parents. They're going to, put him in a portal. They're going to make a phone call. They're going to make a magical phone call. Maybe they're going to magically FaceTime them. I don't know. We're going to find out together on how he plans to interact with his parents. Maybe he's going to send a letter to them. Maybe it'll be a magical letter by owl or something like that. Maybe a lot quicker. Who knows? But he's going to be able to communicate with his parents that he's okay and that he's going to stay here in the Elf Kingdom to be an apprentice for the next 5 years, assuming that, he's not able to get to them sooner. He'll have to wait 5 years for the portal that they're talking to get to the human village sooner, which it's kind of silly in a way if you think about it. The whole, it's going to take them 5 years to open this portal. But at the same time, it's like, well, couldn't they open the portal in the forest that not the portal, but like the magical door they got here? And couldn't they just escort Art back to his parents? You assume that they took maybe 3 to 7 days to get to the elf village. You assume maybe it's double that to get back to where Art came from. So 14 days, maybe to get back, if they hoof it. Maybe a month, maybe 30 days to get back, if they go by foot. That's a lot quicker than 5 years. I don't understand where that rationale is, but at the same time, they did offer to Art and they said, hey, we can have people escort you back. There's just some things that happen to, change the storyline, especially now with the potential of him becoming a apprentice to Virion. So I think that was a really good portion of the episode. I also really like Tess. I think Tess is one of the best characters in Beginning After the End. Virion is one of my favorite characters of Beginning After the End. I won't tell you why, but you saw him in this episode. He's a really cool character. I like him quite a bit. But I love Tess. I think she's best girl for sure. And I like how Art is slowly opening his heart, and not in a romantic sense, just as in a humanistic sense. Like he's opening his heart, not necessarily to Tess, but she is the vessel for him to get there, to open his heart and to be more human, as opposed to what he was, which was not robotic, but it was very dictatory. And he got to where he was in his prior life based on the need and the essentialness of him to be a certain dictator, a certain leader, a certain powerful being. And it was because of the necessity of it. So it's hard to undo all of that. But even himself, this episode, he's talking like, oh, well, I was looking at Tess this way and I was reading into it based on my prior experience and my last life. But this life, it means something different. And as he's looking at Tess, he sees the innocence and how she may have looked a certain way, but the meaning behind her look is not how he determined it to be. So I like how it's kind of changing his purview on life and how it's kind of like changing him as a person for the better. And he's becoming a human, you know what I mean? In all essence of the word. So overall, I think episode 5 was very, very good. I think the fight between Art and between Virion, I think it was done really well. I don't think it was, Demon Slayer. I don't think it was, a slideshow. I think it was somewhere in between those two things, I think it was done pretty good. I think it was animated pretty well. Again, it's not winning an animation award or anything, but I think it was done pretty good. So I'm glad to see that there is a little more attention to some of the scenes occurring. And I thought the fight was pretty good. And I like how Virion got his butt pinched at the end of it by Tess. Because Tess in this kingdom, whether it's being putty in her hands, whether it's her grandpa or her parents, Tess is definitely the leader among them. So yeah, I'll see you guys next week. And thank you so much for coming in today. And I'll see you guys for episode number 6. Peace out, my friends.